That evening, I took my wife to a party, the kind filled with laughter, music, and the warmth of people trying to forget the world for a few hours. She looked stunning, as she always did when she wanted to turn heads. Her confidence seemed to glow in the dim light, and for a moment, I thought it would be a simple, pleasant night like any other. Drinks, conversation, the kind of noise that fades as quickly as it fills a room. I carried an easy smile, keeping every uneasy thought neatly buried behind it. As the night unfolded, I noticed her laughter wasn't directed at me anymore. Her attention drifted elsewhere, toward voices and faces I didn't recognize. She leaned close when she spoke to other men, her tone soft, familiar, and just distant enough to sting. I tried to dismiss it. Parties blur boundaries, I told myself. People get carried away by the atmosphere. But then she was gone. One moment she stood beside me. The next, she had disappeared into the crowd. I scanned the room casually, not wanting to seem desperate. And then I saw her, in a quiet corner, talking to a man whose body language said everything her words didn't. The way she leaned in, the small, private smile, there was nothing ambiguous about it. There were no raised voices, no confrontation, no scene. Just a stillness inside me that spoke louder than anything else. Something had shifted permanently, and I knew it. She wasn't mine anymore, not really, and probably not ever again. When she eventually returned, acting as if nothing had happened, I said nothing. The drive home was wordless. Not tense, not cold, just final. Whatever we'd been holding on to had already crumbled in silence. I thought about the years of trust I'd given so easily, the small gestures that once meant something, and how swiftly they could be undone. I could have yelled. I could have demanded explanations. But anger felt pointless. Instead, I sat quietly, letting the truth settle. Strength, I realized, didn't come from outbursts. It came from composure. When we got home, I hung up my coat and sat in the stillness of our living room. The silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt like freedom. Every moment of laughter she'd shared with someone else, every word she withheld from me, became part of a story that no longer included her. In that moment, I made a decision. I wouldn't chase. I wouldn't beg. I wouldn't fight for something already gone. I'd let the consequences of her choices unfold on their own. The next morning, I woke early, brewed my coffee, and returned to my routine. I planned my week, reviewed my goals, and made sure nothing about her actions interfered with my peace. Hours later, she came home, probably expecting confrontation or guilt. Instead, she found me calm. No shouting, no questions, no tears. Just quiet acceptance. The lack of reaction shook her more than any argument could have. That's when I understood what real revenge truly meant. It wasn't about punishing her. It was about showing that her betrayal had no power over me. Over the following days, she tried to explain herself, to justify, to apologize. I listened, but only with silence. Every word she spoke reminded me that control isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself. I refocused on my work, my health, and the friendships I neglected while chasing something that no longer existed. A week later, I heard she was seen with that same man again, laughing as if nothing had happened. This time I smiled, not bitterly, but with understanding. The best revenge, I realized, was living fully and peacefully, untouched by her chaos. By the end of the month, the dust had settled. She moved on, and so did I, but in very different ways. I had reclaimed everything she tried to take, my calm, my dignity, my sense of purpose. Her betrayal hadn't broken me. It had refined me. That night at the party wasn't just about losing her. It was about rediscovering myself. I learned that real strength isn't loud or angry. It's a quiet resolve to rise above, to choose peace when chaos tempts you, and to walk away knowing you no longer need to prove anything to anyone.